Do you think we'll need extra security for Chimaev versus Strickland? Absolutely. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I trust those two enough to put them together before the fight, because I think they might start fighting. They seem to hate each other, and those are the things that fights are built on. Sean don't necessarily like anybody, but Khamzat just wants to smash people, beat them up, take them down, overwhelm them to the point that they can't do anything. We're gonna need some extra security for this fight.
During that extreme couture with Sean Strickland, he's been saying some stuff in interviews about, he just didn't like your approach. Just why do you think he's saying that, and do you have a response?
I don't know. When I was there, he never said anything, you know. When I leave the Vegas and when they stop my visa, he started to talk. When I come back, I'm in LA, bro. Come on. If it's something personal for you, just come. I'm here whenever you want.
At the UFC Apex to talk about a lot of big fights that are going to be happening, and the first one right off the bat, the biggest news of them all, and we were kind of waiting for this one. We kind of had a feeling that maybe this was going to happen, and I am of course talking about the one and only Khamzat Chimaev taking on for the middleweight title Sean Strickland. That is correct. Sean needs no nickname. He gets called lots of names by a lot of people because he's a controversial guy, but I'll tell you what, the way that he beat Alexander Fluffy Hernandez, the way that he put a beat down on him respectfully to Fluffy, the way that he finished him with that knee to the midsection, and then to be honest, how he handled himself on the microphone, right?
Fluffy's the definition of a man.
He deserves this shot. Of course, he lost the belt to Dricus du Plessis.
All right, fight fans, buckle up because what you just heard is without a doubt the biggest, most earth-shattering news to drop in the UFC in months. Khamzat Chimaev taking on Sean Strickland for the middleweight title is not just a fight, it's a powder keg waiting to explode. Strickland, fresh off that dominant performance against Fluffy Hernandez, proved he's still a top dog. Controversial or not, this matchup has Fight of the Year written all over it, purely based on the personalities involved and the absolute chaos these two bring to the octagon. We've been clamoring for this, and Dana White has delivered a main event for the ages.
How's he going to do against Khamzat Chimaev? I don't know about that. Khamzat Chimaev is ridiculous. What is he, 15-0? He's a force of nature. Of course, went to a decision with Dricus du Plessis, controlled him throughout the entirety of the fight. Yes, he was trying to finish it, but he didn't get it. But other than that, he does smoke most people. Now, Sean Strickland gets the shot over Nassourdine Imavov. Now, let me just look at my notes here because I'll tell you when and where exactly that is happening. It is going to be May 9th, okay, in Newark, New Jersey.
The question isn't if Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, it's how Sean Strickland plans to deal with him. Chimaev's undefeated record speaks for itself, and even in his decision win against Dricus du Plessis, he displayed relentless control. This isn't just about striking or grappling, it's a mental warfare game before the cage even locks. For Strickland, stepping into this main event in Newark, New Jersey on May 9th against a beast like Chimaev means facing his toughest challenge yet. This fight is a true litmus test for both men, and the stakes couldn't be higher for the middleweight division.
On Strickland headlining against Khamzat Chimaev, there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot of bad blood. Chimaev claims that he's already choked out Strickland multiple times, and also claims that his training partner, who's like 135 pounds, also choked out Sean Strickland.
Yeah,
choked him out a few times, right?
We did spar a lot before, but that's why he's so mad.
And as I say, that's the main event in Newark, New Jersey. Co-main event, Alexander Volkov taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta. That's a great fight. Cortez Acosta, I mean, the man's just flying right now. Check this one out, though. This is a good one. This is a great fight. Sean Brady, right?
The bad blood brewing between Chimaev and Strickland is exactly what makes this fight must-watch. Chimaev's claims of choking out Sean in training, even if it was light sparring, adds a deeply personal layer to this rivalry. This isn't fabricated drama. It's real history that will fuel every press conference, every face-off, and every exchange in the octagon. The verbal jabs alone will be worth the price of admission. And when you add beasts like Alexander Volkov and Marcos Rogerio de Lima to the co-main, you know Newark is getting an absolutely stacked card from top to bottom. Expect fireworks.
Going up against Joaquin Buckley. That is a sick fight. Of course, Brady being the amazing grappler that he is. And of course, last time out, you know, who was it? Michael Morales. He got beat down, but that's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you improve. And going up against Joaquin Buckley, a man that's as explosive as they come, and a man that can wrestle as well. So that's a sick fight. Also on the card, the former champion returns, Jan Blachowicz, Polish power himself, and he will be taking on Bogdan Guskov. And then opening up the main card, this is a sick fight.
Speaking of stacked, let's talk about Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. This is a fight fan's dream, a classic grappler versus striker matchup, but with twists. Brady, an elite grappler, is coming off a tough loss and is hungry to prove he's still a top contender. Buckley, on the other hand, is pure dynamite with explosive power and underrated wrestling. This matchup is a brilliant piece of matchmaking that will force both men to evolve. Plus, the return of Polish power Jan Blachowicz against Bogdan Guskov adds another layer of veteran presence and knockout potential to what's shaping up to be an incredible night of fights. Do not miss this card.
Anyone hates on this, you're talking out your arse. This is a great fight. King Green, who just looked phenomenal a few weeks ago, taking on, in fact, last week, what am I saying? Taking on Jeremy Stephens, right? That is a sick fight. And then also the prelim headliner will be Atabi Gautier taking on Ozzy Diaz. So that's great, right? Khamzat Chimaev, Sean Strickland, Nazar Dinimavov. He's going to have to wait. In the meantime, I know that Kyle Bohio.
If you're not excited for Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens, then you're truly missing the point of mixed martial arts. This is a certified banger, a guaranteed war between two veterans who know nothing but putting on a show. Green just looked phenomenal, and Stephens always brings that violence-first mentality. This fight alone could steal fight of the night honors on any card. And don't sleep on the prelim headliner with Mateusz Gamrot and Rafael Fiziev. That's a fight for the purists. The depth of this card is insane, proving that the UFC is not slowing down one bit in delivering top-tier action.
The UFC White House event, okay? The card broke last week. Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, of course, in the main event. The co-main event, Pereira trying to become a three-weight division champion by getting the interim heavyweight belt against Cyril Gane, right? They're great fights, top to bottom. Steve Garcia opening the card. That's phenomenal. This man's on like an 8-fight win streak, and most of them are in the very first round. Now, check this out. Obviously, at the White House, it's going to be invite only. It's going to be a lot of dignitaries and VIPs, and, you know, you can't just have any old Tom, Dick, and Harry at the White House, okay? So across the street, at the Ellipse, they're building a huge arena, 85,000.
Just when you thought the news couldn't get any bigger, Dana White announces the UFC White House event. Freedom 250. This isn't just any card. It's a monumental moment for the sport, signaling a new level of mainstream acceptance and prestige. With Justin Gaethje headlining and Alex Pereira fighting for interim heavyweight gold against Cyril Gane, the star power is undeniable. The fact that it's invite only at the White House itself adds an exclusive, historical feel. But then building an 85,000 person arena across the street? That's unprecedented and a clear statement of intent from the UFC.
It's free. That is correct. 85,000 tickets will be available for free. So as soon as they go on sale, you better put your name down, because they will be allocated on a first come, first serve basis. And let me tell you something right now. Of course, I took the opportunity when I was there with Dana, working with him, talking about the White House. When I heard the tickets were free, I'm like, hey, hook a brother up. So myself, Rebecca, all the family, we're going to Washington, D.C. for the first time, and hopefully I'm going to be working on that card as well. So get yourself a ticket when they're announced, because this truly is a one-on-one event, one of one even. Anyway, right, let's go back a little bit, because
85,000 free tickets. Let that sink in. This is a game changer, making elite-level UFC action accessible to a massive audience. It's a brilliant move to engage the widest possible fan base and speaks volumes about the UFC's commitment to growing the sport. That if you want a chance to witness history and be part of a once-in-a-lifetime event, you need to be ready when those tickets drop. Washington, D.C. is about to become the epicenter of the combat sports world, and trust me, you do not want to miss it.
Perth, Australia, I'll be there, of course. If there's somewhere to go and it's on the other side of the world and it involves hours and hours and hours of travel and thousands of air miles, of course they send me, which I'm very happy about. But the main event, of course, will be Jack Della Maddalena, the former champion, returning home prime time Saturday night. Jack Della Maddalena, love the guy. There's always something special about when a champion returns home to the city of their origin, okay? The fans are gonna go crazy, and the matchup is insane. He's taking on Carlos Praches, a man that is gigantic for the division, has ridiculous.
Australia is about to explode with the return of their hometown hero, Jack Della Maddalena, that there's nothing like the energy of a champion fighting in their own backyard, and JDM always delivers. He's a fan favorite for a reason, relentless pressure and knockout power, but the challenge he faces in Carlos Prates is massive. Prates is a physical specimen huge for the division, and an absolute knockout artist who has already made serious statements. This isn't just a homecoming, it's a high-stakes, dangerous fight that could either elevate JDM further or introduce a new contender.
Just bounced Leon Edwards' head off the canvas respectfully to Rocky, and then before that had that spinning back elbow knockout of Jeff Neal. And as I said, he's massive for the division. I was hanging out with him in Australia. I could not believe the size of this guy. So Jack Della Maddalena taking on Carlos Praches. That's a sick fight, and I'll see you down there in Perth as well. What else have we got? Went through Strickland and Chimaev, but check this one out. On the 16th of May, Arnold Almighty Allen, that is correct, he will be taking on none other than Melchizael Costa.
Carlos Prates possesses truly terrifying power. The way he finishes fights shows he has that it factor. The sheer size and physicality he brings to the welterweight division is a problem for anyone, and JDM will need to be incredibly sharp to deal with it. This is not a tune-up fight, it's a statement bout for both men. Then we move to May 16th with another absolute banger. Arnold Allen taking on the surging Diego Lopez. The matchmaking right now is just phenomenal across the board.
Arnold Allen's been in there with some of the best on the planet. We're talking to people like Movsar Evloev, last time against Jean Silva, Max Holloway, you name him, Arnold Allen's been in there with all of them, and he gives them all a good fight, okay? He's tremendously talented. He truly is world class. And then on the other side, Melchizael Costa on a 6-fight winning streak. Last time out, spinning back kick right to the dome, cracked him in the face. First person to knock out Dan Ige. And before that, a head kick knockout. Okay, so not an easy fight for Arnold Allen. What else do we have? We've got more. We ain't stopping here. Check this out. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueroa.
Arnold Allen versus Diego Lopez is a featherweight clash of styles and careers that promises fireworks. Allen has consistently proven he's world-class, hanging tough with the division's elite while showing tremendous skill and heart. He brings veteran experience, but Lopez is riding a massive wave of momentum. His 6-fight win streak, capped by that incredible spinning back kick knockout, shows he's not just winning, he's finishing in spectacular fashion. This is a huge step up for Lopez and a critical fight for Allen to re-establish his title contention. Expect a technical war with explosive moments.
That's going down in Macau on the 30th of May. I'll also be there, of course, and I'm happy to be. Macau's a great place. Song Yadong, of course, had that close fight with Sean O'Malley, who's now on the White House. Song Yadong's a knockout artist. He's taking on Davison Figueiredo, another man that likes to bang, another man that likes to crack. And speaking of people that like to bang, check this out. Co-main event, Zhang Mingyang. He's returning. He was on a crazy streak, knocking everyone out, and then he kind of shat the bed in his hometown of Shanghai, or his home country.
Macau is about to host a bantamweight showdown that could steal the show. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueiredo. Talk about two fighters who love to throw down. Song is a knockout artist who always brings the heat, while Figueiredo, even moving up a division, still carries that God of War mentality and devastating power. This is the kind of fight where if you blink, you miss it, and the surprises don't stop there. The return of Zhang Mingyang after his tough loss to Johnny Walker is another highlight. You know he's coming back motivated, ready to remind everyone why he was on that crazy knockout streak.
Against Johnny Walker. Well, guess what? He ain't done. He's coming back. He ain't finished. He's still motivated. He's still training his goddamn arse off, and he's going up against Alonzo Menifeld. Tell me someone's not going to get knocked out in that fight. Menifield's a banger. Zhang's a banger. Maybe a little issue with the cardio. He should have fixed that going forward, so that's a good one. And we've also got the returning Sergey Pavlovich, another man that likes to knock people out, taking on Talashin Teixeira, who just had that fight against Tai Tuivasa. So Sergey Pavlovich taking on Talashin Teixeira, Song Yadong versus Figueiredo, and Zhang Mingyang versus Alonzo Menifeld.
Zhang Mingyang versus Alonzo Menifeld is a fight screaming guaranteed knockout. Both men are certified brawlers who live and die by the punch. Yes, Zhang had cardio issues in his last fight, but if he's fixed that, then Menifeld could be in for a long night, or a very short one, that this is exactly the kind of violence fans crave. And then you have the return of Sergey Pavlovich, another heavy hitter joining the Macau card, promising yet another brutal high-stakes showdown. These international cards are absolutely stacked with fan-favorite finish-first fighters.
Aljamain Sterling, the former champion, who is demanding a title shot right now, demanding a title shot in the featherweight division because he just beat Brian Ortega. Well, guess what? He's not getting a title fight, okay? And I don't think he should right now. He's still got some work to do. He's taking on Youssef Zalal. That will be going down on the 25th of April. Incidentally, that is Callum's birthday. Still, regardless, that's going down at the Apex. Aljamain Sterling taking on Youssef Zalal. Zalal's on like a 5-fight win streak. I think 4 of them are finishes. A lot of submissions to his resume. Very, very light on the feet.
Aljamain Sterling making his case for a featherweight title shot after beating Brian Ortega is ambitious. But his next challenge is anything but easy, facing Movsar Evloev, who is on an impressive win streak with multiple dominant performances. This is far from a walk in the park. Evloev's movement, control, and relentless pressure make him a dangerous stylistic puzzle. This is not a gimme fight for Aljo, it's a serious test. While Sterling's grappling is elite, Evloev's control and pace could make this a much tougher outing than many expect. Sterling needs a dominant performance here to truly cement his featherweight title aspirations.
Difficult stylistic matchup for Aljamain. Of course, Aljo's going to want to get a hold of him, put him down on the ground, use the wrestling. Youssef Zalal, the man's very, very creative with the submissions, but more importantly, extremely light on the feet. And then what else do we have? We have Gilbert Burns. He's taking on Mike Malott. That's going down in Winnipeg, north of the border. In Canada. That'll be cold. It's April. It'll still be cold. I remember when I fought in Montreal at UFC 80.
This is a truly difficult matchup for Aljamain Sterling. Evloev's pressure and control demand absolute focus, and Sterling will have to rely heavily on his wrestling and experience to manage the fight. It's a high-pressure bout for the former bantamweight king. Meanwhile, in Winnipeg, Canada, we get another sensational main event, Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. Burns is a perennial top 5 welterweight, a submission specialist with knockout power. Malott is the hometown hero, an exciting finisher climbing the ranks fast. This is a massive step up for Malott, but with the crowd behind him and his skill set, an upset is very possible.
3. That was in April, I believe. It was in April. There was massive piles of snow everywhere. So Winnipeg's going to be freezing, but the main event's going to be hot and firing because it's Gilbert Burns taking on Mike Malott. Co-main event, Kyle Phillips taking on Charles Jourdain, and Jasmine Jasdavicius taking on Karine Silva. Right, I'm just going through my notes here, seeing if there's anything that I missed. So far, out of all of those, what is the biggest news to you? What is the biggest surprise? Is it Sean Strickland getting the shot of a Nasruddin Imam?
The cold of Winnipeg will be contrasted by the heat of Burns versus Malott. This main event is a guaranteed war. Burns is looking to get back into title contention, while Malott has everything to gain. It's the classic veteran versus rising contender matchup with massive implications for the welterweight division. The card also features Kyle Nelson versus Charles Jourdain, which promises an absolute brawl and highlights the depth of talent the UFC is bringing. The biggest surprise: the sheer volume and quality of these fight announcements. It's honestly hard to pick just one standout.
I know Imavov beat Kyle Bohayo, but when you look at it, Strickland's already beat Imavov. Yeah, it was a while ago, but a win's a win. And he just put a beat down and a stoppage on Fluffy, right? Imavov beat Kyle Bohayo by decision. And we all know this sport's about what have you done for me lately. There is a backstory between Chimaev and Sean Strickland. They have trained with one another. There's a bit of shit talk. There's going to be bad blood. We know that the lead up to the fight will be goddamn insane, right? Chimaev doesn't hold back. He talks shit, but in a kind of reserved way, but like he truly believes in himself. And Sean Strickland is just going to go on the full offensive. We know that. We know that. He's going to be talking some crazy shit. Dana even joked about it on the little show that we did there. He said they're going to need extra security for that fight, during the fight week, leading up to the fight, after the fight, in the fight. It's going to be a mad one because Sean Strickland doesn't hold back. And you know what? Even if you don't like the shit that he says, you have to appreciate the entertainment value that he brings to the table. And then on top of that, the performances inside the octagon. That one against Fluffy, that was a different Sean Strickland, okay? But can he stop the
Sean Strickland
takedowns of Khamzat Chimaev? Because let's be honest, that's what this fight is all going to come down to. And then, of course, as we know, the White House tickets, 85,000 tickets, they're going to be free. So I'm going to go there. I just called Rebecca. I just said, listen, we're going to Washington, D.C. Hopefully I'm going to be working on the card. I think I am working on the card. I'm not going to say anything yet, though. And we're going to go do some sightseeing. So where should I go see? And we're going to go check out Washington, D.C. We're going to watch some fights on the White House lawn or the Ellipse. 85,000 tickets there for free. Anyway, I'm just at the Apex now. Obviously, we've got fights happening this weekend, and I've still got a tremendous amount of research to do. So I better start doing that and watching these goddamn fights. There's my man, Phil. Phil, what's going on, brother? I'm just doing a little YouTube thingy bob.